Hey guys, welcome. In today's video, we're going to be loading up some Lee. These are the 401 175 grain truncated cone bullets. These are for 40 caliber Smith & Wesson or for 10 millimeter. We're going to go ahead and get some loaded up. We're going to do it in 40 Smith & Wesson. As you know, that Ruger revolver will shoot both 10 millimeter and 40 Smith & Wesson. So we're going to go ahead and load some of those up so hopefully we can get to the range next week and shoot them off. There is a couple problems with that though. One of the problems is, you know, for Christmas I got a kidney stone. Well, for my birthday, which was on Saturday, yesterday, I get to have surgery to remove it. So next week on Tuesday, I believe, I'm having surgery to remove the kidney stone. It's been in there 8 weeks. They're going to go in there and they're going to have to take it out. So I don't know how I'll be feeling at all. The procedure does not sound like a good procedure. I will have to go under and get it taken out and get it removed. So we're going to try to make it to the range though. So we're going to go ahead and load up some of these 40 cals. And as a lot of you know, and some of you new viewers may not, I keep my cases in ready to load bins. What that means is they can go right from this bin into a tray and they're ready to load. For me, it just works out that way. I've already got a few of these loaded up, but we're going to go ahead and get some more out and ready for you all. Okay, we're probably just going to do, I don't know, there's 5, 10, 15, 20. We're going to load 25 in the tray. That way we have a good amount for the shooting when I get the chance to go to the range with the 10 millimeter and the 40 Smith & Wesson. I also have some 40 Smith & Wesson Glocks that we could shoot these out of. But the main thing is I want to get a lot of trigger time on that Ruger Blackhawk. That way we can go ahead and get it sighted in and make sure everything's working good. Once I get my cases in a tray, anytime I use a progressive press, and I'm gonna say a lot of times even on my T7 Redding, I go ahead and I add case lube. This is considered a dry case lube. It's the Hornady One Shot. I like using this because then I don't get the powder sticking to the cases. I make sure I go ahead and get the insides, and I just give a little dab on the outside, and that's it. Just enough to cover the cases, and then I let it set until it all evaporates off, or all the liquid evaporates off. So when I put it in my press, I just found out it works better that way for me to keep the cases lubed. It keeps my dies lubed, and it just makes everything lubed, and lube always is good. You can't go wrong with lube. Okay, because I seem to be having a problem finding Federal small pistol primers in my area, and a lot of times it's just finding primers at all. I'm going to be going ahead and using the Winchester small pistol primers. I have to have the Federals for my competition revolvers. It's the only primer that'll work in that firearm. The Federals are a little softer cup, so we're going to have to go ahead and use these Winchesters, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our case, we're going to put it in the machine, resize it. We're going to take our primers. We only need 25 of them, so we're going to just open up the box and dump them out. Okay, we got our 20 primers. We're going to go ahead and add one to the press. Seat the primer. We're going to go over to the next stage. We're going to add powder. Because this is the first loading for the day, we're going to take out the pin and we're going to go ahead and test the powder. Now these are already pre-set up. This is the load that I like to use for this press, for this bullet, if you will. We're going to be using the tight group powder, so we're going to go ahead and weigh it to make sure that we're on our exact charge and nothing's deviated. Okay, so everything checked out fine on the powder. These Lee auto drum powder measures, they are about 100 times better than the disc powder measure. For some reason on the disc, you know, if you have too small of granules, it will leak everywhere. I have never had a problem with these Lee drum powder measures, and I like them a lot. Okay, so now we're going to open up our little bag of bullets. We're going to flip it around. We're going to take the bullet, we're going to put it on. We're going to seat. We're going to go to the crimp stage. Crimp. and then we're going to test our overall length. Okay, on these Dillons we don't have to make any adjustments, so our overall length was exactly where I wanted it to be. So guys, right there is why I like this setup. I didn't even have to make any adjustments at all. I just came out here and just made one. Okay, we're going to try to move the camera a little bit out of the way here and see if we can just show you loading up some of these. All right, here we go. Once again, 40 Smith & Wesson. I like to have everything situated on my desk where it's easy to get to. So I put my bullets down there, make sure my tray's on, my primer. Okay. Go ahead and resize. Add the primer. Add the powder. We're going to always check our powder. On this particular machine, it's just the way I like to do it, so I know there's not a problem. Okay, and there is one. Go with another. Seat the bullet. Prime the bullet. Powder the bullet. Check the powder. Add the bullet to the case. And it's done. As you all can see on my videos, I interchange bullet with case and cartridge. You know, it's just the way I do it. The term projectile, I really don't like that term. It's not a projectile until it's moving. Okay, but this is a case. Okay. And this is a bullet. And this is a primer. But yes, I do interchange the lingo. You know, I've been reloading and since I was 8 years old, and it's just the lingo I was taught for the last 40 years, and it's just what I use. So you'll have to forgive that. Okay, but I take the case and I resize it. Add the primer. Seat the primer. That was one of the instances there where loading primers by hand can be a little finicky. I put it in upside down. As you can see, I flipped it around, just that simple. And there's another. Load the case. Seat the primer. Add the powder. Add the bullet. Crimp the bullet. And okay, I've had a lot of people ask me, well, how long does it take to do it in that fashion? And is it fast enough, or is 4 better? Well, okay, this is how long it takes. I'm not going to go real fast here. And if the primer's upside down when I pick it up, it just is. Okay, so there I resize. Add the primer. Add the powder. Check the powder. Seat the bullet. Shoot the bullet. So there's how long it takes. I mean, it's a little bit more steps on pulling of the handle. I understand that, but I'm engaged in each step of the process. I know right where I am. If there's any discrepancies at all, I can stop. If I make a mistake at all, I only make a mistake on that one case, and it just works for me, especially with these cast bullets. And the reason why is what I do is I have load data for every one of the cast bullets that I shoot, and the powders that I like to shoot with those cast bullets, and it never changes. I mean, that's just what I'm going to use. Now, if I can't find a particular powder, even though tight group in my area is pretty easy to find, but let's just say I can't find tight group, I have 2 other powders that I could use in the place of tight group. But there it is, guys. This is how I do it on a aggressive press in this fashion. Once again, this is the Dillon 550BL with my Lee cast 10mm 40 caliber bullets. Not much to it. I mean, you just need to take your time. Make sure that you're following each step. Most important to me is checking that powder. You know, if I forget another component, if I forget a primer, the powder is just gonna fall out, fall out over the press. Not a big deal to me. I can just blow it off and clean it up. You know, if I come to this stage and I forget the powder, then I can have a squib load, which is not good, okay? If I come to this stage and I forget to put the bullet on, it's no big deal because all the powder is just gonna fall out the top. So if I just happen to miss a stage, the only one that's really gonna bite me is the powder stage. All right, guys, we've already loaded up. How many is that? 10 or 12. There they are. We're gonna go ahead and run the ones that we've already done through our case gauge. Perfect. 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 Oops, drop that one on the floor so it's not perfect. Perfect. And I can just go through each and every one of them. Well, there's a quick little video today, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and knock these 25 out. Like I said, I've already got some preloaded. But that's how I work the new press. It's that simple. I love it for cast bullets. I mean, every time I come out here and I just flop out a tool head, like the other day I did 45 ACP, and then I went right from 45 ACP to the 40 Smith & Wesson. You know, the 45 ACP was a large primer. This is a small primer, so I had to change the primer system out. It was very simple, quick to do. I actually reloaded 2 different types of 45 ACP bullets. Both cast. One was the round nose and one was the 230 grain round nose, and one was a 200 grain, I believe, truncated cone. Just loaded them up real quick, switch over to 40. It was a great day of reloading. All right, guys, appreciate you watching. I'm gonna finish getting these loaded up. Hopefully we'll get to see you at the range.